So, let's talk about my revelation tonight. About 25 years in the service, reserve, active duty time, 20 years straight, total of active duty, and I realized one thing. When you get out, i.e., or retire from the military service, you don't automatically change, but your life does. And not only does your life change, everything about you changes. The one thing I've noticed is no one else around you understands that. You're not wearing a uniform anymore. You're not showing up to work at 6 in the morning. You're not doing PT. You're not being either yelled at or having to yell at people in a toxic situation or just outright fucking hating your job, which is the majority of us in the military. But when you aren't in anymore, people are just like, oh yeah, blah, blah, blah. Things should be normal. I've talked to buddies whose families didn't even miss a beat when they retired. And they were still had expectations financially and emotionally that we just don't have to give. And I think a real hard thing is for people to understand is we don't know who we are when we retire just yet. We have to become and transform, evolve into somebody completely different. Most of us have made a mark for us in the military. It was our career, and we did really good. And unfortunately, when we get out, for whatever reason, we have to start again. And that start, for some of us, especially who's been in for a long time, it may be hard. More importantly, maybe we just don't want to go back to dealing with the same bullshit we dealt with and try something new. Trying something new after 25, 30 years in the workforce, let me tell you, not the best thing. But guess what? We do what we have to do. We try to get through this. We try to find some way to be happy. I'm going to make this a little bit longer today because I think that was the biggest thing I realized is, holy shit, I'm still Major Payne. I still have 25 years of living in the service, being a part of everything, 2 different branches, and spending time with my son on the USS Fitzgerald made me realize shit hasn't changed in decades. It's just a different perspective of the same assholic picture. Not that people don't care, but it's really hard to care when you're worried about yourself and worried about your career and no one above you really gives a shit. So for those who do and who have tried their hardest to care, and I see it, I saw it on the ship, I saw it a lot. They were all ranks who really, at the end of the day, they would give their step in front of a train. They would do whatever they can to help out a sailor on that ship. Then there's other ones who would push your ass in front of the train if it got them just a little bit, just a smidge more. But I am lucky, proud, and honored to know that FCA 2 ESWAS Kyle C. Payne isn't one of those guys. Neither are the people who are around him or underneath him. He's got a good set of shipmates there, and a damn good head on his shoulders. Probably because the person right next to him, Household 6, Savannah Chehevitz Payne, is the best goddamn daughter-in-law anybody could ever ask for. Puts to shame most military ideas of what a military spouse is, and she kicks ass at it. So even though we aren't doing this anymore, or even though most of us are still in, but we can't stand what's going on, and we're trying to figure out what the next step is, trying to figure out how to get out, or more importantly, just trying to figure out how to be happy in a shitty situation. Guess what? Just be a little understanding. Give us a little thought, a little beat when things are stressful. But the other part of it is we can't wallow in our fucking misery. Things suck. Life's hard. I heard my 9-year-old son today, life's not fair. God, I almost cried. It broke my heart. I was like, wow, that's kick ass. I love it. It didn't really break my heart. It just made me feel a little good. But with that, hey, it's going to be okay. But guess who has to make it okay? You do. I do. We can't let anybody else think that, oh, everything is going to be wonderful. It won't until you and I do something to help ourselves out. Take care.